Aban Bagbin. Nenko for no more parliament or no problem. And I only he's a tyrant. Or say he's a tyrant. The council be a tyrant more or less like a dictator. And for to obey you be the nephew so he be quiet representing over 30,000 people as the MP. Also what parliament.
That's a parliament was said.
I council. That's okay. So there some again. Now I didn't parliament. Now the speaker of parliament here. Go and listen to Haruna Idris. Was a papa no your first was he's more or less like a dictator. Sadio in Dubai. The issue of parliament and more or less like constitutional breach. The issue of parliament now, you know about 90% of government business of parliament. And this is a serious matter. We should not joke with it. Aban Bagbin time. And no more say we a deputy speaker met me to Baba is one tear somebody Supreme Court or interpretee say a deputy speaker. He was duly elected as a member of parliament. He represents his constituency and just what democracy here to Aban Bagbin no man all year. The whole year is political motivated. That they didn't find no man judgment here. I'm matching for contempt. Aban Bagbin and he's not above the law. The Supreme Court the order, but he doesn't care about the president or the vice president. But they make and say if you look at this kind of elections, if you look at these two political leaders, you don't hear insult in every democratic dispensation. Yes, say when any people was calling for, said they should come for a debate. One debate is a good thing, and then with the strength and the weaknesses of our leaders, you ask a very simple question: does the MPP have the moral right to call John Dramani Mahama for a debate? MPP for new classes of Mahama for a debate. They don't have that moral right. In 2016, John Dramani Mahama calls for a debate. Mahmoud Bawumia said you should go and debate Ghana for now. ABC Basar. Uncle Stream or more Mono, you should go and debate them. Or no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not ready in 2020. The NPP captures power. John Dramani Mahama captures him say he wants to debate them. I'm so mumba. Now that John Dramani Mahama before Akufa the catcher Akufa was a person for debate. Akusamia Kuba catcher and said they are not ready for John Dramani Mahama. It is unnecessary. Now, to be honest, who take these two political parties back? To be honest, no one is convincing.
The NDC and the NPP.
I'm being blunt. No one is convincing
because Mahama does not different sana na kokon ketenkete no asem o chechim.
And it's asem no the MPP should stop it. John Dramani Mahama ko kan no ba bia so ba free senior high school betwam. Man Mahama so mo fanya no Mahama no o mo fanya no. Then to mo fanya no say in 2016 if you look at counter address om yeti the NPP about free senior high school na ya maku 40.
Enim na ya ko na nya attend you. Sa attend yes some man a anka Ghana any problem. Ye di atem no di ya di enfanya position.
Now you want to destabilize Ashanti region. Woman no Mahama de obi e kasa. Baby am amusement me akasa mana convince obi am ya to Obama the NDC. And I dey back mo wan say as a small girl bi no mo yo minim. As a more small girl ma me na back mo obi enhu say I don't get it. And who say Jane do you see the
no say my nachi. Ejon for my nachi.
And no kwa na be the class on the vice presidential candidate kura me nkai.
On kai say NDC for vice presidential candidate for Professor Jane Nana. I was from Makwaba at the Bass Solid TV. Me din at the Shy Bilasisi production at the Free Ghana Ken Studio. And then Yababe Bonkomo. Professor Jinana, Ewo Asante Mantemwa, was say Abatwo Anamamu, and Yatimidi. Say Atimidi, the Dibu Mine, I said to Ghana Maya, Kagana my Kai da Dada. John Dramani Mahama, the 5 questions now to come about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so the 50th question I am about to send her at the amount. Supreme Court so kwa setena ashe say Aban Bagbin anano adie na na mo no tu ye no se bi ayanamofo o mabo asem na gu se onkoku bie parliament bible the keys na gu bia no onko keys ma nyem bie parliament ye adwuma amene se o man ba ne timu na ye mre hye bedwafo so o mo kwa setena ase aban tuguo bi ya abaso ananse di ade ma amene ebi se ase oye MPP women organizer or picker obi se coin elections with sensem in Supreme Court there akwa the Supreme Court no versus Parliament no adana ye NDC versus MPP eye sa na tie and I think yes sa na tie me twa mo aba me ba franco the hater the new burger from Makwaba, can say production in the Free Ghana Ken Studio. Yeah, we are internet holding here the content in the air, bro. Follow Solid TV Ghana, our TikTok, and face Solid TV Ghana, our YouTube, and face Facebook. Yeah, Solid TV. When you have to Storm TV, so call YouTube, so I don't subscribe. How they are then community a coso. Franco hit Akwaba.
Major social assist
now here.
Yeah, madam, I'm using also here.
Boko, I was your phone now here.
I mean, I says I come 36 days to the elections.
38, and not 37. 37 days. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I said, what maybe I said, aka 1 year, aka 2 years, they be 124, aka 5 months, aka 10 months. He said, aka days you. You bet me come man, they say, 1 month, next a few days. A time will come, create me cut aka 1 month.
But I cut some few hours near Kwakwa. Ya 2 weeks, ya close to ya can kind. Now be a 2 weeks. These two shall pass.
Are we going to see new thing? Is this lesson going to transform Ghana? We all want. And I said, Babe, the normal
me from where I sit. If you look at this kind of elections that we are going for, Shabula Sisi, me said that Musa Doba will need to make a 2 exceptional. Now we are now you see, development is not an event, it's a process. Now, if you even go to developed countries, in the US or any other areas, they are still in the process, trying to say, oh, the challenges will come. But we need people who think outside the box. We need proactive leaders. Man, I don't conform to political parties. Where if you go to a lot of jurisdictions,
a former TESCON communication director,
you are not being fair to me.
A former
why do you bring that adjective in?
What I mean, I want people.
No, they are then you are trying to put me to a tight corner. Oh, then you are an MPP person. Instead of you to say, a party say no. Also, you are moving from that.
Mama who say, upon so we are former communication director, TESCON MPP. What in Ghana first now?
That's when I also said yeah. But if you have another diabolic intention of what you are saying, I was at 21. So we need people who are pragmatic. We need leaders. Shabu. But be a minor do not know where warfare, where you're tinting, where you're tietia, and you fear the MPP fear. We should move from that narrative. That tangent, we should go out from it. We should look for people who can think for Ghanaians. Where if you go to a lot of jurisdictions, it takes individuals to make sure that we are sacrificing for our nation. And then go and look at China as a pen. What the party for corruption? It means a person is working. Now, that was what I feel about Burkina Faso to worry. It takes an individual. Go to other jurisdictions. It takes individuals to take concrete decisions.
Cool now, yeah, in the back in here, and leadership stand on mind. Mr. Cool now, yeah, and the MP.
I'm sorry, also is a military person.
Yeah,
there's a clear difference between a civil person and a military person.
But Ken was because
Ken is a civil. But on your military paper, it is watching.
Yeah.
What can I get? Civilian, what I say. But soldier for no crown, sometimes I'm life for no. Sometimes decision taking crown or more. I don't know, and you're going to be kind.
Anna, one a good person, say, and now, but one of people on the side, I call
my cousin. Sanko for no. It takes 1 out of 10. And I bet catch my equal women so referee. It takes only one.
Say, rolling some time
out of 10. Now, one is because I don't mind, you know, some boy saying one of my friend, but what's here to know.
Someone said, Limam is show my name.
Then I just said, Limam is show my name.
I'm not to Limam, so say, a dear voice to cook. I can't catch us, a dear voice to
say, Ghana, I won. Ghana, I won. If you look at our tradition and our nature, a tronic concern aid. We don't do empirical research. At that material moment, Limam, the budget net is sending some. We are not going to look at it too. People try to concoct stories and so now more Ghana cry, and say, we pay so to no Kutundabi.
That's what Casa Lima was.
The Wukan reporter speech. The Wukan is a reporter.
Now said, yes,
Anna Ocasa J. Rollins. You're 2 baby in 2000. Before 2000, Ocasa has some posts of it had to take mediation. It had to take people to come on board. Talk to him, convince him as to why he has to offer himself as the president of the Republic of Ghana. Near Concord for a democratic dispensation. So I saw the soldier for no. Only opportunity to be do minus was go to Equatorial Guinea. President not transition 59 years. Okotu no offer. All kon person in monarchy system was person the man na one about. And your monarchy you, and then papa busu ya japade you. This is how they are. So I give you some wine so then you Okotu aban. And I want to president. Yeah. Also, ba kuzu so kra ko to bi obi also so teso. Into mo dey na dey. Me when it comes to cool this manner. Honestly, I'm not happy with it. But Shaibu, they make can say. If you look at this kind of elections I dey ba come many say if you look at these two political leaders, you don't hear insult.
But I say about the
Tiani say in every democratic dispensation, yes, say so it is opinionated. Whatever you bet me a casembi, a pushubi. Now let's be honest. If you look at US of here, almost quite the democrats were 200 years ago. Meboa. And I don't know say
Trump.
Then attempt to make Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Now Kamala Harris is what to be the man. That is the beauty and the nature of democracy. Kamala Harris said, "Brother, you better than you come. Una now can say, Mimini, look straight into my eyes and let's talk. Yes, the point is a coach, Mansa. Every I could do, I mean, I shall be an idea of the Bayano. Who could not have any dinner and the post and attitude to the Ukraine? Wouldn't mean Casa. One NPP was calling for, said they should come for a debate. One, debate is a good thing. Shall debate is a good thing. And men with the strength and the weaknesses of our leaders. I mean, with the strength,
then people had the moral right to go for a debate.
To Timasi, they say. You see the strength and the weaknesses of them. Timamus Ashabudi, the strength is about maybe hosting. The strength is not about analysis. Franco's strength is about analysis, it's not about hosting. This is the weakness. Now, if you look at Ghana, young fast again in trouble. Ghana, young Cassie Wako debate, Nashabu and the Wako trouble. IEA debate in 2012. The best outstanding personality was Abu Sakara. No bias about pay what much it's in Kama. And so, of course, I quite trouble John the man, Mamma was only quite detailed. Or no, Mamma, you have the one corner before you, but Mamma won the elections. Secondly, if you look at Sanko for corner institutions, no organizing this kind of debate, now are they fair? Are they an independent body? Are they a neutral body? Ghana and a moderator, my yes, I didn't agree. Never a cabinet minister, never running meeting. And I don't know Jane. At that time, she was a VC, University of Cape Coast. You are a minister for education. You know, thank you. You're quite minister for education. Quite your punk come do by MPP for no question, and this for and I quite your punk questions. I will be sano. It was even outside the jurisdiction outreach, no. Oh, so allow the politicians to do their politics, and then he's a cabinet minister. Nipano also no more than no, and I boss also easy boss. So if you look at institution in Ankasana, people have problems with the institution. I say almost two institutions. And the debate Ankasa the Kenya the bonnet. Now, you ask a very simple question: does the MPP have the moral right to call John Dramani Mahama for a debate? Bring me another adjective. Another adjective. Say moral right. Give me another adjective and another way. MPP for you who can cross some of them Mahama for a debate. They don't have that moral right. Bible says 1 year Bawumia and 1 year Mame. Etadebia wo ye bia na so hunu say ade na wo ye posterity wo judge you. Today maybe you are happy. Tomorrow ade na wo do ye onyan e bia so so kwa kire mo so catch you so wo hia. In 2016, John Dramani Mahama calls for a debate. Mahmoud Bawumia said you should go and debate Ghana for na wa me economy na ABC basa no. Onko srem omo ho kire omo no you should go and debate them. Ono Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not ready to debate or refer John Dramani Mahama. Fast forward in 2020, the NPP captures power. John Dramani Mahama catches him say he wants to debate them. Now no other John Dramani Mahama before Akufo the catch Akufo was a person for debate. Akusami Okuba catch and said they are not ready for John Dramani Mahama. Now when you are ready for John Dramani Mahama, and I want to say they are afraid John Dramani Mahama. Well, Martin says we have beside 50 questions. It is unnecessary. It is irrelevant.
Mahama Busa say. I see there over $5 from 4 cities. And I could do 7.
It is unnecessary. Ghana Libya and so Papa Casa if the fundamentals are with the exchange to expose you. Now me Casa Mitchell, the Ghana for our answer. Me say if technocrats want to confuse you, they will use technical words on Tiasi.
If the technocrats want to confuse you, they will use technical words on Tiasi. Opa Yaka Semiane, that is an accountant. Me can liquidity as anything. Thank you. In terms of become more accounting, if I talk about liquidity, I'm talking about cash. So my cash every accounts for a red print out here. Your chess accounts in any pan or boca. Make up blueprint chess when yes break even no yes go no more. So worse is a technical term in terms of accounting. Make every be a banner casa and person confuse you. Now the barrier casa is okay if you look at the liquidity aspect or any profit and loss account now, it doesn't show a blueprint but confuse you. Number 2. You are lost. You are lost in the conversation. Thank you. Mahmoud Bawumia meet journalist. Any ABC and SM confirm my Obama Kobizano say if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Ghana question no. It was specific. Was say Ghana makes my catch some mamia below what you say. Say na na anything and say na kwa kudu. No mkofa GDP ni so no man by on the baby confusion. And the ordinary Ghanaian businessman or can no he doesn't care about GDP ni so no man. How the dollar is affecting the person or game.
So because what's Palugu Dam, that's a Wunsia. Now it has come as a Wunsia. Also, it's a signature project, and we're Hunya. Now, so the Zumbi said 50 questions a Hunya. Policy some person with the battle. Bring it down to the ordinary Ghanaian and Tiasi.
A dear person,
the policies and programs after saw the banner. Bring it down, break it. The person year doing person year. Bring it down to the ordinary Ghanaian and Tiasi.
But frankly, we are John the money, Mahama, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And yes, say Ghana, and I'm cast any option be
yes.
San Nipa Minu. Come and call for so many Ghana for that to do money from.
Oh, now, so because any option, I beg to differ.
Okay.
Now, first, number catcher said the alternative is scary. We have a pool of alternatives ahead of these elections. A pool of alternatives. And you see, sometimes we try to narrow it or limit it to the MPP or the NDC. But we have a pool of alternatives.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have independent candidates. If you listen to them critically, now so be a case or convince. So now see to abano ye political party affiliations in this anoma. And we can elect a competent leader to lead Ghana.
That will be
Menyam number be cheni person okotwa ba de ma no so wuti omu nyina wi na wo adwen be kire wo say sa nipa we Kenyans asem de wo kan say binyansa anim no then you decide for your own self but yeah yet and we can educate and enlighten and tell us oh we just say and one kasa tena say na why omu nyina ahwe no say sa nipa we de metuma ba de ma na betimi aboa na sa bless sisi another yet e de be na betimi aba so ne Morgan T then Morgan is thinking about alternative.
So, Bema, the year Tiawar pass. Now, Obana Junior. So, Baba, no Bema show you know, you not such pro in the Chennai by 4. And I will do our giant now by 4. And Yamana is a banning notes. Now, all the economic indicators here, Papa. Now, GDP to form, now I have interest rate to form, economy now, so dollar exchange will be our form, food will be our former. There's that word alternative is doesn't even come in. Alternative can
the word alternative it doesn't even come
into your mind.
But so no about it if your money is cash or now to be honest who check these two political parties but to be honest no one is convincing me.
The NDC and the MP.
I'm being blunt. No one is convincing me
because Mahama da so nam e different sana na kokon ketenkete no asema wo chechim
another pay James Ajeni Mwatimba used to ask him a very simple question. I say, now people are saying, in terms of communication, people are saying, say, Jane and I are Minister for Education, or buy no obey to me a 3 years near 3 months. And then obey Candia found me. He didn't convince me with the answer. He didn't convince me, but because of time, I have to allow you to go. Okay. But say, I can't convince me. And I mean, radio, TV, soon America, sir. I can say this and that. Like I say. Obviously, I said, John Dramani, Mama was to be free senior high school. Mama has never said that. Or say he's going to revise the free senior high school. Abraham Yebu, and not me looking said them because you want to revise upon your life. And the number you know, and you come to make my question or revise a bit more bomb you know, maybe the famous side if you come out the count. I'm then a person can enhance and you go forward. And it's asked them at the MPP should stop it. John Dramani, Mama, can be so bad, free senior high school become. Man, Mama, so I'm fine, Mama no, Omunfanya no. Then to Omunfanya say in 2016, if you look at counter address on yet the NPP about free senior high school, na ya makumaku 40. Makumaku 40. And the one question made by Mr. One that as a customer says some again crown you know. I question Don Kuma catch us. Oh yes, Don Kuma so free Alan as a special aid. Akwakufa to come. We still look at you from a distance because I a lawyer. To refer Alan, till when I make a channel, they are candidate to be fast and a special assistant. No, there are a lot of things that goes into it. And if you look at John Dramani Mama, was say I could follow the scam, and we say 419, and I intimate, and I was on a classmate. What are your classmates? Another say but there should be a parameters for the classmate. What say? Was another say? Yes. Now also Mohammed can say Bawumia going with him on a debate platform. As I know, I elevated Bawumia. The Bawumia in the class. One, you see the contradiction over here. Yeah. That's why I have issues with politicians. Who will catch you will be below your level? Why are you certain questions for him? As I'm making a certain and correct question about Shabless Sisi. Metier, Mrs. Shabless Sisi, Crown send for us new years a man. Now, one of my Slababe attack you. Then I'm giving myself an opportunity. I'm opening the doors and windows for you to come over on me, to come and hunt me. What's about Miano on your class? Why should you ask Bamia questions?
Sibia was or had or trauma. And about me say back to sender. It's not president who father say.
Yes.
So share Mahama. Class ben or person Bawumia about. Or the parameters be by. Was a class about my Mahama want to say. Under the Fourth Republic, he's the only person at Yamanako one time Ghana for
and it is factual.
And that is in a class 1% Bawumia we will associate
it is factual. JJ Rollins go 8 years. Kofoko 8 years. Most were immune or Koye. Mama ko 4 years. Rizuko 8 years. So in terms of class, what might be on so they need in terms of class, who cast a year objective. Now we just get to in terms of classmate, on the classmates, no need say J Kufomo. Akufado.
Yeah.
The classmates any J Kufomo. The also pass of bad diabolic so that catch was say. In terms of classmate, when it comes to the economy, other issues, that Mama is also better than you. As he
was referring to Mama, I was referring to Bawumia. So Bawumia number presidency, so you know, class.
Was it why?
Mama said he doesn't want to elevate Bawumia.
So why do you question him?
Said what tongue question.
Then why do not he? When you're a classmate, or you're a person living in Comonia about Anobabaye, why do you invite him to the conversation? Now, I'm asking very simple. Mahmoud Bawumia has been a mate. Mahmoud Bawumia has been an errand boy. Running mate is an Ubiakan. What the Indian be the vice president on the 24th of July? What catch or you say who per money jollof a salad need be on your mouth? What your office say you run bay to 13 your floor catch say go and come on and come on him a papa and bonnet woman say Uja for okay will never be the president. Mama was coming from the house as a vice president. He went home as a president of the Republic of Ghana. And buying a big D one tape. So, what kind of level? If you say Bawumia is not your level, why do you have to engage him? Why do you have to ask him questions? Yes, only come and be a got a free one. If it is even true so on your level, now you ask him 5 questions, maybe what? Bawumia be saying
or the fifth aba.
To be sa sama akuma ko 10. Questions I will be saying near 5. Will be sama akuma ko 10.
There's an almost a debate replica version and answer there.
No, can you official?
Good. But
debate today, you are entitled to see a bizarre question. So, debate today, you don't have a choice. See a bizarre smart guys for pen paper about it. Debbie. Share. Over 34 million population. So, the geographical ministry of Ghana and Africa, so the 4 corners of Ghana. Now, you may be someone now, Debbie. You should look sharp. They say, you say, me, can wait too many when you are no moderators, besides Sanomano. Enemy who the strength and the weaknesses of these people. But no, they don't convince me.
But Franco, I come and say, debate and do say, make another country, but they sign social contract with the people.
Yes.
Debate at DBA, a gym. As I say, after 2012, you have to debate.
Because I hear no, but I met no. The key actors, neutral for me. Kwajo Pankuma was a moderator. As a man, I'll catch me. We are a minister for information, a deputy minister, and no Kodika Pay or Cross, and one Thank you. Sana Yenim Crown no woman dada. And I rising. So I want to ask you, how are you going to good a typical example? Over panic area country of Japan. Yamia is a flag bearer of the MPP. You are part of IAA moderators. Questions when I be papa. Many questions come in. So it makes the institution not credible. Nipano the pinnacle the leader and the easy. On a trace of the it doesn't make it a credible institution. But if you go to other jurisdictions, you cannot pinpoint because you are Morgan, maybe on ahead of this, CNN and I said, those I work as a be a more source spot for they run the system. They make sure to be able to contain. And shall we have me? Men's I don't video him.
I name not your attend you. Certain years is some Maya. Hanka gonna have any problem. And ye dear Temno dear and fire position. Answer sachet. My potholes no. I'm out quani and yenny. I'm in Sia Mecaho. I'm schools are Mecaho. I'm airport to Pepe I'm Mecaho. I'm harbor I'm Mecaho. I'm man for Asumanjuom. Yeah, and see a chair of Frano Casa and Yefe. Na amfatayen enti no de ene ye years nche obi a odi atam na chese wunya serious won pa de papa ye enti won no de atam
ya Professor Jenana wa ba santimantemu ana o se anya temdidi na de Ghana yie ta temdidi aka Ghana yie de da
me no kwa na aka so okuruma kran kaminim
woni se prof kuruma
enyo kwa na wo kan kaminim. I'm being honest, I'm being blunt, and I'm being truthful. Mahama, I don't think she's the running mate or she's the vice presidential candidate for the NDC.
Say be also the type.
Type
na the Indian na poba kumasi ayete na punkan say. Eden na poba kan asema.
Na menka asem so.
Shabla
sisi.
Franco Heta.
Anya hwe no. There were different forms of communication.
Okay.
Different forms. Now, if you look at this kind of election that we are going for, it is about policies and programs.
Okay.
Now, the running mates, they have moved from errand people. Obi also the not but the kind of things that the person is going to do. Bet my man running mate. Now, tell me about my meeting. Go and look at the fantastic submission the woman made over there. The kind of things she said about John Dramani Mama. Me that the car say what's your name? There is a clear difference. Or saw a professor was being asked what can I say? She was able to understand the issues, the challenges, and then she made sure that she gave solutions. Or so one may running mate assemble big and another running mate assemble because there be drivers with there be. We are as a team, a military army, but could free my young film. Now telling some air corona effect. Shabla sisi
Franco Heta.
Jane, I get back a month for the bonnet year pa and say. Obey education minister in 3 years. A month for you to 3 months. Man, what you want to say that? There be the woman, Obabi Pimoha. Now the NDC is saying they want to get 30% in Ashanti region. One in 2016, when you are 23.03%. In 2020, when you are 26%. Which means to 2 normal year when you are 30%. It means from 2016 you appreciated by 3 votes, 3%. Now you want to destabilize Ashanti region. Woman no mama de obi akasa baby aba amene so betimi akasa mana convince obi ama ya to aba ma de NDC mama betimi akasa and ade ba kwa mo wan say asa a small girl bi no mo yo minim asa mo small girl ma me na ba kro obi anhu so I don't get it
but no earlier when you came back kwa chia kura asiki permission say person be campaign
enti onim so ya campaign okuro ma
ama like
me bi saw
okoy
me bi saw
in fact maintain
yes se akwa no asa ka mo atese ma me okuro anko atese ma me okuro ma me enya nra a Erika J ba ya me ye interview akire ba ya so ba ya ageni mbo ate ba kwa me nsa ma me kura okuma but Saibu, this is a fine opportunity for you to sell your message. You can go to every constituency, but let me tell you one thing. Now the media is a powerful tool. Media is very, very powerful. We are selecting about 10 radio or TV stations. We are going there. You can decide. So once every channel should pick it at the same time. Some of us done it to our artists or that only option there than to listen to you.
No moment wait here. Enjoy for someone buy.
Some of us okay. Elections is an expensive business. So when you what they say who was going call for elections. Elections is an expensive venture business. And it's a one year what they say who was don't try to do politics. My name is Al. Over packet their compare for corporate to the system machines the goose or no. I know no or what can I say? Thank you so be unfortunate. Willingly on one and then one was working home. And then the sick kind of bank with Diamanaka began for soon living one. It was a campaign. We are there amount for Bejuska. And so when it comes to elections, Morgan, when you're ready, you don't go for it. Maybe about your belief, we say going to the Jomophobia at that time, we are KJT, they or one who radio. You want to just go to them. Shabla easy, Franco Heta. Every politician is doing door to door, room to room. Will be a yebi. And I want the MPP for saying you can get your invasion. And I say I want you to buy. I'm not call them so I can't get your invasion. No matter make a tone to me say. So say baby a hot depani Ashanti region. Do you know why? John Dramani Mama and Chobeba. Alan be spending 19 days. Bawumia starting on the season. Bawumia is spending 16 days. 16 days in the Ashanti region. John Mama is coming to spend about 12 days. And Ashanti omo ko mu you. And when you dress with hazards. Omo kwaba I want to say fa kata cardboard da ko gina ho na ga da go ka say o say Bawumia oba o me so start on the 6 plus 16 days now almost November year mama so back konti e dey mo say be so why are you crying more than they believed omo matrasa yo mo tates kwa you are not worried one out in how one out crowd calendar voters register no how no mo kita voters register ne me say omo was Ashanti and let me tell you one thing. The NDC knows someone get 30%, but someone can get 30% for them. With all the apathy at TSC region, when the phone Ghana, Ghana for some to a funny. Ghana says to a funny. Anything can happen at any particular moment. Let me tell you one thing. As I make up for it from go and check from June. everything was going for John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
Now things are turning. Let's be objective. Maybe I go check for the American money. But things are turning. Things are turning. Ask yourself. The General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party is in Ashanti region.
Yeah.
The party chairman is coming. The flag bearer is coming. They are going to spend 16 days in Ashanti region. To give 16 days in Ashanti region. Or call will say Jebu actually. Or call less than 2 weeks.
But let me be honest too with you here. Elections. Though the impact about here called to about yeah they great. But Ghanaians who have made up their mind.
I love your word. Ghanaians who have made up their mind, they've made up their mind. We'll be making again. We've not done empirical research to know the kind of people who have made up their mind.
Face solution for say the third time or the fourth time, I must say they are standing categorical. Say you're to abandon this.
Thank you. That is posed, it's a projection. It's a projection. How many people did they consult? By sampling, by pruning.
By no one, yeah. Because in 2016, these pools, it was favored the MP.
Thank you. And I'm saying, now things are changing. Me no me no tia. All my post catchers are doing is going to win the elections. Me and yes, I don't know what happened that day.
But election day things change.
Thank you.
I Christian, I found down for fancy.
Christian, Nyako.
Yeah,
make sure say. And then the face of foreign can send this for the year. The NDC should build a robust system, a resolute software for this kind of elections. Shabu, many and then the American catch us 5 regions, 4 regions are trick in the system not crash. No, we are not going to buy it. Elections, a process is not an event. Unya lusuba could break it chamber. It follows. Shabu, it follows. And to your campaign is our man, one more near the I was a day we will yen said, you will yen said, and then the fish for an account. Bible says, he said, manity. Say, unless a fish for not catch us on our berry, you have to do something. I saw your point to in 2016. Two of us NPP for berry, but the NPP didn't sit down. Look at the engine for Botuana. Me say, that year to a banner. Just want to catch on. That year to a banner. The figures began to set in, a trick in, a be flopping, a be flipping, no issues. That is why I'll get to know say the NDC they were ready or they were ready for this particular elections.
So, my minister, I came the dear and yen. Was here a dear gun?
I tell the dear child and yet, papa. Let me say, now we are moving from where my man has some work and a more do a more papa. Now we are moving from politics of insult and it's anoman. Who tell my man or church and some or Casanes and Bashabu? Name some now all can. Do you hear it?
Send you or catch you a young former Yaman or catch
now poke up and Tahona will be.
So, they see any appointment at tea, maybe so.
Now poke up and Tahona will be. Thank you. I don't know.
Send in some more kind.
A campaign will be our strategy to you.
But a man say, Napo, ask some about one tea, baby, Tibia, County. Send a power will come of Kwam and Chroma. Tia and a Yamia Dati. And I say, it was a bad news cell.
I mean, council show. In terms of politics, we bet my Morgan so running meet. Morgan, let the attention be on you. Let me go down and do my work. It can be a strategy. When you say some work and a subset in Kwasasempan worker, I think an more kind is a serious statement. Have you seen the NPP party distancing itself from it?
Since your mamma saw the Bawumia and a mamma son of myself, maybe.
That's my organization.
Now I can't want him.
Shabla Sisi.
From good header.
And it owns a Jane. Do you see the
no, I said my nachi. A young for my nachi. A quaint for or mama say, and now mamma never see Kate Affits. I'm not going to cross on a vice presidential candidate to cram a cram in Kai. One Kaiser and the vice president, Professor Ginana. Ashabu. A young canoe crew. Maybe I don't come in. And that's one you can some canibia. Now, put the only cancer. No one can at all. Yes, so sure. And I will also say, when was the last time you heard her news in the newspapers near you? Jane, catch it. When was the last bank in Anodinam? Franco, yes, I viewed you, Emla.
The 4 constituencies of Amenfi Central, Fomena, Aguna West, and Suhum in the Western region, Ashanti region, Central region, and Eastern regions of Parliament are made up of hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians who had queued to elect these members of parliament to represent their interests in parliament as their voices. By declaring that their duly elected representatives in parliament had vacated their seats for acts that were interpreted within the light of Article 97(1)(g) by the Speaker, the Speaker was actually enforcing this interpretation of Article 97(1)(g) against those hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians, and not just the 4 people that sit in parliament. He was also doing so at a time that from the official records of parliament presented to the Supreme Court, the Speaker knew that a contrary interpretation was being placed on the same constitutional provision and that the Supreme Court's jurisdiction had been invoked to provide the correct interpretation. By reason of law, there could be no by-election to replace these elected representatives between 17th October 2024 and 7th January 2025. So, 7th January 2025. 2025. So these Ghanaians would have been left without a voice and representation in parliament from 18th October 2024 until 7th January 2025, when the 9th Parliament can be duly constituted.
Chief Justice, what's up, Bamba? Me fana semko.
Shabla sisi.
Franco
Me obia ni me position.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a neutral person. And you see, anytime we sit here, we try to educate, enlighten Ghanaians. No kwene kaya. But no can we are. If you look at this kind of parliament, it was born out of violence.
Parliamentary.
I'm telling you,
it was born
out of violence.
Also, Buruma, Mahama said, was say, your bats unleashing violence. Will be a bit more compare to NDC. The party were being born.
Open this kind of parliament, it was born out of violence. Go and check the 6th of January 2021.
Yeah.
Look at the activities. Key actors, no see you.
The cars are going to paper shen.
So I came back. Papa Paimu. We must be getting back a shemran yediso. When you cook ballot paper, ne ballot box again.
Would you question no more?
Why is that we should make what Toby Papa Nasu Pushubi? Look at the kind of confusion you see here. The kind of confusion I see here. So, our parliament, no.
I know as our parliament.
I remember, was our parliament to Ukraine. It was born out of violence.
A crown a year one, you could be and soon the Jarno.
Phone quantity is one is a
cracket one, you could be and soon the Jarno. That quite be here, but
I see the belly for the letter about question on the young in Tunis and a whole lot of issues. So let's look at the genesis. What the parliament by who says Kappa is this particular parliament? What the parliament power and to Kappa this parliament? Do you know why? I'm going these parliamentarians on Shabu. I don't know the adjective to qualify them. They play with our conscience and intelligence. Anytime a movement come different. If they appear on the podium, platform, come different. I'm going to tell you so many things. Right? And I'm catch say how a comes on person. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying what comes in Munipano to 2 years. You match then where power license. If you look at a more comfortable bomb within now, Morgan. Or more you talk about you almost say ministers say you 164
how comes
it?
Nipa so Pabo to train you can say a man who
only the highest. Only the highest. So parliament we and it look for incapacitated MP by making every two. Okay, say I'm asking you, what say you? So parliament when it look for imposter side that's affordable. Need to say I'm pass it. I want to give you a whole lot of issues. Sir, parliament we no more be akoso. But Shabla Sisi, no cry a yaba cope. And here, Aban Bagbin will go down as the worst speaker of parliament. Hey, that's okay. Yes, I'm going to tell Shabu make kind of credit. So, and here, Aban Bagbin, he will go down as the worst speaker of parliament. I'm being honest with you. Shabla Sisi, another way. Now, issue we see. Issue see, you know. What did not credit to the year to you? Never no credit. Yes, see. There was challenge. There was kind of subjective. There was can also your opinionated watch the wagon. Another, as much as you fear, in terms of legalities, also Frank on a 5 ways and your Frank with a year. He found a court.
Yakope nokre.
Yes, the court, especially the Supreme Court, and the language Supreme Court is the court of competent jurisdiction. One is the final arbiter of truth. So you don't joke with the Supreme Court. Where? Aban Bagbin. Nenko fon ko no parliament or no problem. And now you.
My friend Muntaka inte.
But dear Muntaka say he's a tyrant.
Yeah.
Or say he's a tyrant. You can't be a tyrant more or less like a dictator. Idi Amin.
Some ultimate tolerate MPs or Katatanase. Oh, now, yeah, after your marking.
What after your market pay? And Kofat to obey you be the nephew, so he be quiet yaba. Representing over 30,000 people as an MP was what Parliamentary Parliament.
Tell you more, dear.
Travelers. I said, okay, now your classroom.
That's a parliament or said,
your classroom. So that's okay.
So there are some answers.
Again.
Now I didn't share parliament.
Now the Speaker of Parliament in India.
That be but a judge to court or court in India, but say, you make my protect court image into. Oh, yeah, there's a contempt of court. Not judge, you know, I'm your palm.
Well, listen to a friend is a Yarun Drus. Was a papano. When your first was is more or less like a dictator. When you end this fool. Well, no chairman suppose for him to be catching and say, what is your number? What is your position? Name me your number 3, tell me your position. My friend, sit down. Chabu, young man, I cost kakaka no. Apart from saying I have a problem with the MPP, so one I cost sell or bear try to their man. Now let's look at issues at Ecoso. Papa, he has been with the Ghana bar since 1980. Since 1980.
1980,
since 1980.
Yeah, no getting
1950 Ukraine. Since 1980, he has been with the Ghana bar. This is one person who understands the law. If Parliament is an autonomous body, I didn't know some SC a two about issues or move Parliament in Kokase, and as I we are going to stand on our standing orders and take a decision.
Yeah, the court.
Now let's ask ourselves simple questions. You see, Parliament for Pabrosu. I didn't know Chief Justice and a Supreme Court a year. They go to Parliament for interrogation.
That's what I mean almost 2 million.
Good. So it is a coordination. It is a checks and balances.
I said, Nipana, you nominating so uncle judge and chief, Supreme Court. Yes,
thank you. So a checks and balances, whereby a accountability, whereby you can do empirical research about issues. It will be a Shabbat you get no crime for the Public Accounts Committee, and it's anomaly because it's a coordination. And a 3 arms of government here. We are cut to say a separate entity, but still they coordinate. But arm also break another arm. Arm the end of the judicial arm. Are you using the fair language? Are you using the right word? Are you using the right word? Are you using the right word? Depending who for the autocratic leader. Maybe. Also, yes.
I now can't hear me say. Akufuado yes or Mukakusi, there's a national category. Judges went to court. There's scale court in Jansen. Akufuado. Defy order.
Thank you. I want to ask a very simple question. So our case, is it at the High Court or the Supreme Court? The High Court, we don't go for interpretation. The Supreme Court is the apex. Shadiano, Supreme, Obidi Asama ko Supreme Court. One of the experts, Jaba. Experts in the patch say, Risheni Pano, Nafadi and Mano. Risheni Pano. Then there will be a stay of execution. If you go to Parliament, Supreme Court say if there is a court writ in Adekwa, Mondays you can serve the speaker with me. But apart from Mondays, you won't be franchise speaker. But apart from Mondays, you can take it to the legal department of Parliament. In the legal department of Parliament, take recipient of the letter. They communicate to the speaker and tell the speaker, say, it becomes a Onsaka. I say, yes, will be the idea of Basoli TV. Mondays of Amra Papaya. So Papaya, no, so be 2 Bia or Hanas or the might is a Papaya Onsaka. Sasam the buy, and a man for there be enough upon say he's not going to take any risk. Okay. In the eyes of the public, Oyan who gangaria. Tell ye, eyes of the public, Oyan who gangaria, but it's also running back to the law. Oyan who gangaria. Sa stay of execution, any expert is no person go to go. If I know the call. I didn't want to get so the caucus on one can take a concrete decision.
Pastor be also free say MPP are buying to use court episode wiki parliamentary no because she kwanya after your marking can say me court and pass your coin. They are very important clean up. How important in this case case bia yeah sa de ndu ba che sa tumu case
man ka sam chow the issue of Parliament and more or less a constitutional breach. This is Parliament. No. Now, do you know about 90% of government business of our Parliament? Anonym. About 90% of government business of our Parliament. Do you know say 2025 budget? Do you know say free senior high school bill? We have to pass it and pass it. But come on, we are doing no. It says people compensate more. We yank high. And this is a serious matter. We should not joke with it.
Maybe a certain Parliament or Parliament.
Say, me, asema me he sa stream we no me kanesi aka bi. Now if you look at me baso, if you look at Bagbin here, Bagbin je rest no say there be. Why does it why Kokache Tadio sorry say he should go to court and contest it? Why so sign court?
For interpretation.
Good. I didn't want to answer any demand interpretation and that's your interpretation. Now it's a phenomenon case master mo de koyena. We have not even come to the substantive matter. But not yes you know. It give me a pre-assumption say or more I say back to position they are going to work. Timamana small can say why how can you defy in over thousands of people? Some more coins some more for matter but they cannot exercise their right. Now there's ambiguity. You say na article 97 GH nebwa. Shabula sisi me front MPP ni lawyer abechi more than NDC ni lawyer abechi. The final arbiter of truth is the Supreme Court. No interpretation.
It's your interpretation for at the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Says yeah, I think I'm more MPP not MPP.
Tie. Asem yenya maso. They no mo kan no. It's about the stay of execution. Sa ade na yes oh. Sa ye de for so the rule na base apamo. No, afena market that say no we should hold on to the matter.
Ba wonu franco. Me be say ho. En ka sel ma me timi bogu say. By speaker ni kwan say. Obetimi obi cross the carpet obetimi the akiki for
no yen kan
me na ka me empire me bo me anke benya MPP ni a ye to abama the Parliament wa was my when it comes to matters of law we talk about legalities and evidence ye benya
it doesn't
now
it doesn't
they did that just to protect the
political party say no correct
Jose
who understand it the law is who understand it is Franco's understanding and you say for them to even allow you to be even on the Supreme Court. Shabla says it is not easy. I didn't tell me kubita. You say executive here to parliamentary here to I didn't tell the bar association to
the bench the judicial
I didn't tell him to.
Someone went to a
Oh my day.
Some I say
so we go to them for interpretation. And if you can speak about Baden and Bagbin time and no more say we a deputy speaker bet me to Baba me so on tears on the Supreme Court or interpretee say Nipa no deputy speaker no he was duly elected as a member of Parliament. He represents his constituency and just what to walk class here to be to abani.
So much him atiase.
Was it?
See atiase, much him atiase.
What I say? Bagbin no man all yen shall bless it. The whole year is political motivated.
And the after marking the political motivated.
Chabu. No ni me. Uni say me asamba I'll tell you how my opinion on the the whole you know and I didn't know you dangerous. I don't mean that's
or one so ama near money be yatia for instance and yeah the court ni we be dia semna ababens and action could be some man was why yeah go for some akukwe the Supreme Court that can no one father here you
say court aka say
11 November no media some kasa
remember court yaka say stay of execution. I get the buy. I say, yeah, one, the stay of execution was part of the plea.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, stay of execution, the coffers are anyway nearby. I say, and I say, Senate, I was a dead okay. From where I sit, one person's decision should not circumvent Parliament.
But besides, I know quite decision. What? Stay of execution,
yes.
And then this for some more.
Thank you.
Majority side.
Thank you.
Anna so what we say.
Yes.
Bagbin on one tomorrow because Sintama Melimu Echo Parliament will be on Pamu.
Yes.
And was some of the cool Kariana. My two parliaments made the quaff
one. Did he receive a written air catcher and said there should be a stay of execution?
That be on the sun.
Can't a catcher?
Was it in Sanka?
Not a catcher because Supreme Court assemble Supreme Court akwa say the Queen or the King of UK and I come across France England
UK
can no on Cambo Funti, the Supreme Court has never ever heard. Or air corner, it becomes a law. It binds you. Shabuti Asemo. Almost say, rate no, the bread of bay. Almost on the bar and your Monday, air da bay. Maybe about Wednesday. About Wednesday, the legal department of Parliament. And the legal department of Parliament also communicated their master. This is a writ. Every Supreme Court. One, you have acknowledged, say, on collecting. Meaning automatically, the Supreme Court has served you. I want to ask a question. And the time of Mokache no is a collecting. What prevented him to say, as some Supreme Court, let the Supreme Court decide. Omuya will come to the issue. Abamba before about Parliament, no majority, no minority for the can of party. Omuya Kolas, Mamekanyanti Asiana. Matthias, but second, and no minority majority doesn't come in. As about majority for Koma, but it doesn't come in. One, yet the idea, I catch you say, Supreme Court has given an order. Order said there should be a stay of execution. Why you know? What's that? On one category to Musa, he has received a letter from the Supreme Court. Why did he fail to talk about the content of the letter? And I said, "Uncle, for no matter how much, and you saw the catcher move, so one country. Ababa Bokatacha for Deputy Bokatacha for Parliamentary. Over MP for Genesis, who answers Samasi. And then the MP for us or appear so moons or impure. It will be captured in the hazard. So you just make a statement. I've received this and this and that. And this is the direction from the Supreme Court. You end your matter. Because it's a directive from the Supreme Court. There's nothing you can do about it. Only here is how you just have to respect the rules and regulations of the Supreme Court. Okay? The Rekakono. Ghana they didn't find no man judgment here. Commit matching for contempt. And he's not above the law. He's not above the law. What's it? Wakai Article 2. And I'm saying if our institutions are working, Article 2, on the Supreme Court the order, but it doesn't care about the president or the vice president or whoever he thinks he will keep a portfolio and a position. Nanti oh you bail for betting milk president himself the culture controversy. Maybe Sasa won't make a man cowardly. Yeah, and not a mammy, you know. Tokuni, we should not say mammy say this is a bench, a court and say thank you. I love that court and say and no. The woman became too emotional. You know why? I get her. Nipa ba comment tin hu ya wo wiasem justice atuguba. Why they? My tin hu ya. That's all we say what in the Thank you. What say? Supreme Court ruling the first one and it was wrong. In terms of communication. Some no cry ya then make person catch us say it is wrong. I will tell you I disagree with you. O ka say wronga. What the stamp team to say enye papa. So be o mo good. When was the last time you heard an ex-Supreme Court judge coming out to make pronouncement about rulings? October fees and experience. I want to ask you a question. Okay, TV. Election petition 2013. A quiet sense of 5434. It means an MPP phone case, but what come your starting proceedings? The Supreme Court source has one person to money to for. Sir John, Namin for the currency was brought down to his level. Samia or corner home, check your temperature. All right, can crash him could them. Homes in Kodem, can crash him could them. A Tuguba city, a Tugubia, and if I say a Tubiga, a Tuguba. I did a Tubiga so my oh, gun on the edge. So, you see, so the Supreme Court, now the number maybe yet too emotional and they say people are downplaying the Supreme Court. Not for the court anymore, yes. So it was a fine opportunity for her to wake up. So there are 2 a year. And Kofubino. You now know your size. Emma Mampo say Adiano. Yes, this is how it is. Shabless easy. And to get the air cost we are. Those are blame the MPP list. I know my one maybe or no. Papa no more. But Vanko may my we have a person this question we chat to. Where the air cost of Parliament or because they say Parliament air fighting judicial or judicial fighting the legislature. Now we share a sort of one so Basa. Do you foresee peace after December 7? Oh, general elections, lady. Electoral Commission, where you may due diligence. They say 2020, no, they say CB. Whereby police report, any police, NIPA 8, election percentage, yes, movement, you are disenfranchising them from their right. And the Electoral Commission, where you may now about 4 crowd doubt, said that I catch say. These two political parties, when it comes to the voters register, it has never been credible.
Well, after barometer for church, see a Ghana for GD or more electoral commission. So what TMs about the 34?
Two parties in Ghana and Mani Basa. Two parties, no one Mani Basa. And you see, if you don't change our constitution and amend our constitution, these are the kind of things that will happen. So I talk about me in Pabako, not me appoint over 8,000 people. 8,000 people in key areas. One of them is Ashabu. Wouldn't say you were genuine mistake.
Yeah.
There's a genuine mistake. But because one other more gun by, people will read meanings and interpretations into it. And it's animal. And so we're 100 years. Or more, it should be true and free and fair and transparent. Some of course will be salmon. Or Muntimin so. Bien will be to myself about Quasam. Many of what they should allow the woman.
What report a bit you come or say the first 2 days they are so your phone years say Mamon to the mind.
Charles is I didn't know more. I didn't answer. I didn't answer with the what is it? Yancy with the Yancy with the Ebia, and then now who's saying Yanson? Oh, share a bushebia as Sante Bononia the other. People territorial expansion. It was through war. Maybe Ghana. Ghana said, "Assemble Kunyawa." One they did rule back as based on evidence, not evidence. And you know, then as a woman from Cocono months of what they went through. Sir, Omadi Court, and I didn't know. I'm so Kusa the phone or Hino Gazette. And I'm a cockусy. If you have a strong institution, some of the can say Anani, if you have a strong institution, a court of competent jurisdiction, some more than a president. What's up there? You also your president. A question, he had the police and military protection. And I make us say, assuming a soon infrastructure is discussing. How many years? But the woman talk Canadians say way back 1934. Yeah, some years. And now Christian will be true. They say Nipper won quite 17. I didn't come highway then 8. Nipper was annual 25. But only Bokwa some of them say commode or monk. But dear Kosovo or sat bad in Nessifo. I also know one a honey an international highway. Man pussy phone to me case any kusa for was 17. Ya block kwan can't do what. Me a kunu we are santini we are frafrani we and then we video be wo TikTok. Na abanya for Nancy for and talk about director for. What am I cooking frafrani be? I'm a frafa for so your video TikTok say omun chase frafa for more man pussy for more bolgana. E basa na busua we be a I greasy for be say kuomo also much chase man pussy for. Yes, man pussy for more while say. What's my okay? What's my okay? Meet you. Sorry to forgive you. That's my okay. Nancy happy won't pan a day. What's my seminar? I said, so now you reported speech. To our others, Unti, as I make an antiasiana. And cousin, a report on the make a show. One maintain 1 hour report with your money. And I may say, Sansa can say that pussy will making nay. To go for us more can Yansa pay with bad and it is. And in time, over Tim Konya and the Yakubi, in Konya and the Bella, Yaku, almost also the other one day. Dabin Konya, I love abandoning Konya. And so I hasten to be a tuto Yakubi. Over to Mom Prison in the bed, Yakubi. No more Sabi or Makon and the Koran over 64 Paramount chiefs. Korano. What is your black can do? Just a small enclave. I don't know how. I asked I don't know how God even but on the international highway, walking a 4 Asama Okan. And you pass Asama Okan. Everybody saw Castle Mumuni one. Maybe not, no, Abana day, Abana, a corner Yaboka, I tax money. And nobody said talking to you, such as a woman. No, my son, I say, Shabbos, me, many a kufa coming for Suja Cranko. Men Fakim, Kumo. Some of them. Some of them. What I was saying. Now, oh, Castle Passoja Foka. Then, of course, from Musa, I say, or Baba in our band. So I count Jasiana. To me, Pabe. We am Crawford. No, how many years now? How many decades now? We am Crawford. And then never come as eh, Ghana Sika said, Naya Kukunia di Abramo, Ghana Sika Kukunia di military a year ago. As the expense of the government, a taxpayers' money. ɛne yɛde kɔ yɛsɛ ɔmo tumi ka sɛ yɛsi curfew 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. ɔmo sɛ ɔmo nte aseɛ ɔmo na di ɔmo na ɛsɛ sogyafoɔ no twom gu table so twom akyi maa baabi a dɛdɛ do de so apply force yɛmmrim bi mu wɔ hɔ no mu sɛ yɛsɛ nipa adwe mu da hɔ obi de mi ka sɛ wone woyɛ mampusi no ntimi wɔ problem ɛwɔ da hɔ deɛ mampusi no ntimi nware saa nkɔfoɔ no bi wu
fast no ɔmo wɔ abasia da ɛno na kɔ ɛdi nkɔ ɛsɛ hyɛ no mampusi fɔ no ɔmo school kusat fɔ no ɔmo school kɛsɛ obi ahɔ mampusi fɔ no ɔmo school ɔmo kɔ kusat fɔ no ɔmo school
okura region baako so a ayi a mo nyɛ developed ɛwɔ hɔ sɛ mo matuma nya sɛ nyansa na ɛko a ɛnja mo nka mo hu sɛ nyansa na nkɔpɛ development mfamba sɛ mo nyansa na mo adwe mu da hɔ na sɛ mo pɛ sɛ mo tumi bɛyɛ mpanyinfo akrakyefo a mabusuafo obi nya position na wabɛtena nkran onya position na wabɛtena kuma so what is preventing them from staying there wɔn mu sɛ hɔ no nyɛ developed sɛ mo nyansa a mo de kotwitwi atuo ne saa no ma na de bɛnti a mo nka mbom ɛnka sɛ you are going to fight for development mo to yɛ de wi
fɔkɔrɛ ta mi da se
so me da se
abusuafo franco da hita ada bɛ tɛn kan mi din ɛde shaibula sisi yɛ bɛ hyia da fɔfɔ